All right, we're recording.
LeBron tried. Luka cried. The Lakers, they're fried. Wolves in 5. Welcome back, everyone. TalkBall Tweakers E19. The sleeves are off today. We are talking first round of the NBA playoffs. It's a little bit of a somber day here. All three of us are LeBron guys. Welcome back. Jake Mazarski here with my co-host Toussaint Fancher and Blake McQuarrie as always. Yeah, boys, how we doing? Let me just click this button because I know.
Yeah, our glorious king lost last night. It's okay, though. It doesn't lessen the GOAT debate for me, at least.
We'll have that debate when Lunga is on the podcast, but that is the biggest... This guy's literally crying. You got something? Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It hurts me. It's me personal, bro.
Not gonna lie, I did cry. I did cry.
Holy clip.
No. Yeah, that's a clip, but
Oh, my.
I cried last night because I'm just like, while you guys were arguing with Lunga. You guys were arguing with Lunga. I was in a state of mind. By the way, he literally just texted us as I was speaking. Happy
Detroit fans cry themselves to sleep day.
This guy's such a troll. Nah, I just think like I had a moment yesterday where I'm just like, how much more LeBron do we have left? And that hit me.
Yeah.
I actually like talked myself into the whole serious thing, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but it's greatness. Like, we could have the debate another time. I will be Team Jordan, but the guy's greatness, and like, I don't think he's going to retire.
Nah, he needs a farewell tour.
I was about to say, he's going to do a farewell retirement tour.
Exactly, but it definitely hurt. But then again, like, we'll talk both sides. I mean, the Timberwolves are awesome, but...
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I mean, get into that now, I guess.
Yeah, but first, let's talk ball.
Oh, you finally remembered
Yes,
this
sir.
time.
Yes, sir. I came prepared. I was rehearsing on the train. Yeah, so we'll start with that. I guess the Wolves, biggest upset of the NBA playoffs so far, defeating the number 3 seed Los Angeles Lakers in 5 games. What is the bigger storyline here? Is it Anthony Edwards and the Wolves beating the Lakers? Or is it the Lakers not being complete enough and beating themselves?
I think it's the Lakers for sure, 100%. Mm-hmm. Why I don't say Ant and the Wolves is because they got to the Western Conference Finals last year. We all seen what Ant is capable of in the postseason. We all seen what this Wolves team was capable of in the postseason. Yes, it is a little bit different Wolves team than it was last year. Yeah. Obviously with Julius Randle and DiVincenzo.
Out of their minds.
Yeah,
out of their minds.
No cap. But everyone should expect that the Wolves are a good basketball team. I mean, yeah, they didn't have the greatest year this year. And I think that was more so just them adapting to each other with not having Cat anymore and just implementing Julius Randle and DiVincenzo into that lineup. But one of my biggest things is I think before when it was like 2 games left in the regular season and the discussion was like, okay, who's going to get this 6 seed? Like, who's going to, then 7 seed? Like, who is it going to be?
Because it was like between 6 teams.
It was between 6 teams, and then I think it came down to it was either going to be Wolves Warriors that last regular season game. And I remember I was scared when it was. I was scared either way for the Lakers, like either way. But I thought about it and I said the Wolves have defensively to stop the Lakers. Like the Wolves have it defensively 100% to stop the Lakers. And that was something that I kind of noticed because in terms of that third option, Austin Reeves being that third option.
Just disappeared.
And Luka and LeBron, obviously. Austin Reeves didn't play his best.
He disappeared.
But that's my thing, though, is like the Wolves have had it defensively to guard a third option.
Oh, yeah, no.
So it's like that is where it is. But ultimately it falls on the Lakers because of just, I mean, JJ Redick wasn't ready.
Yeah,
I don't think this team had the chemistry long enough to go deep into the playoffs, and we've seen that, and it got exposed.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. It's definitely the Lakers for me. We know what the Wolves are. We know what Ant is. We know what the rest of those guys are. The only surprise one was Rudy Gobert last night and Julius.
27 and 24.
I mean, he's playing like prime Shaq. And then you got Julius Randle, who's been playing out of his mind during the series. He kind of shook off all his playoff woes. But the thing with the Lakers, one, I think this has to be said. JJ Redick is very smug. He's very arrogant in his coaching because a lot of his responses to the media, a lot of his actions.
They raise him like that at Duke.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know where he got it from, but he got into this position and now he thinks he's coaching better than everyone. Listen, the choice to not play Jackson Hayes detrimental to the team. I mean,
that was so stupid.
You need size to go up against Rudy Gobert. Now we all know Rudy Gobert is sustainable to small ball lineups, but you can't do small ball all the time because then they're just going to impose their will and their force.
Exactly.
Rui Hachimura, if you watch his post-game interview yesterday, he said it himself. He said, "I'm 6'8", 240. I can't go up against someone who's 7'2", nearly 300 pounds. Rudy Gobert is a monster down low."
He's the reigning defensive player of the year.
5 feet within the basket, he's unstoppable. But you bring him outside is where his weakness is. You allow him to get rebounds. You allowed him to put it back up. You're going to lose.
Yeah.
The decision also to only play 5 players in a single half, I get that you see that your team has holes in it. But regardless of the holes, you still need to play players. LeBron is 40 years old. Luka Doncic is not the most fit. He's not. You can't play Luka for an entire half. He's not built like that. You can't play LeBron like that for now. He's 40 years old. It's just you keep adding on to your troubles. And so I just think he wasn't ready. He didn't have a plan. And especially you saw it in game 1. They got knocked upside the head. And it was like, whoa. The Lakers thought they were going to walk all over the Wolves in game 1. And the Wolves said, no. And then they kept their foot on the pedal. So for me, it just had to be the Lakers simply by the fact that the Lakers, they were favored to get to the Western Conference Finals. Everyone thought, hey, you got to beat the Timberwolves. You think you can get past Golden State pretty easily. It should have done. It should have been an easy road, but I mean, last night they shot 7 for 47 at 3 for 3. The Wolves,
Jesus,
and they still won. 7 for 47. That is 14%, nearly 15% from 3.
It's disgusting.
I mean, the Lakers shot 11 for 37.
They still lose.
They still lost. I mean, Luka gave you 28. Brian gave you 22. Rui Hachimura gave you 23 in 40 minutes. Yeah, and he had to guard the biggest player on the court. So
Rui had a great series. I mean,
he did.
Yeah, he had a great series. I think a lot of this falls on JJ Redick. I think the biggest turning point for me, got hit with a gut punch in game 1 because I don't think anybody expected the Wolves to walk into that trap and take it over the way they did. The biggest one for me was game 4 because the Lakers were leading that entire game, it looked like.
Yeah.
Or at least the entire second half. And Mike Breen and Doris Burke, they kept saying it, and Richard Jefferson, they're just like, the Wolves are going to catch up because the Lakers are going to get tired.
Yeah.
And they did. The Wolves, throughout this entire series, they were more energetic. They were more well-rounded. I don't want to say hungrier because I hate that word because it's so subjective. But, I mean, speaking of hungry, Anthony Edwards, he told Barack Obama he's the truth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He did.
Isn't that a common Lakers problem that we've been seeing, though?
Yes.
They take a huge lead. They're winning throughout. Because remember the whole Denver series last year with the Lakers, the last couple of years, they always were leading until the last maybe few minutes, and then they give it up.
They did that the whole regular season.
Yeah,
it's the whole regular season. They had huge leads, and then they would just give them up.
It's frustrating to watch. If you take a lead, you have to finish the game. You have to.
And then also, the Wolves out-rebounded the Lakers 54-37 last night. That is just insane. Rudy Gobert looked like prime Shaq.
Yeah.
I'm so serious.
Disgusting.
I texted my best friend and I said, Rudy Gobert, cuss word, us down, is about to make me crash out.
Yeah, he walked them down.
And
he walked the Lakers.
Ant had 11 rebounds. Ant had 11.
Yeah.
And he's like 6'5".
It's
insane.
Like 6'4", 6'5".
But also, my thing is like Luka's got to take that next step and get better defensively. Like, you cannot be that good of a player and be a liability on defense. Like, it just cannot happen. When you want to win championships, that cannot happen. When you're the leader of a team, that cannot happen. So, he needs to get better defensively.
And I was just going to say off that point, too. I forgot someone said it today on New York Sports Radio. Like, everybody expected the Lakers after 21 regular season games that LeBron and Luka played together to take the league by storm. I think the biggest flaw, and everybody knows this was inside, this Lakers season ended once the Mark Williams trade fell through.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially in the West, where you have to play defense. And that's why I don't think there's as much of an emphasis on Luka to play better defensively. Like, he says he will, and he probably will, but at the same time, he's Luka. They're going to get someone inside, and they're going to be a much more complete team. But I totally understand that because this Lakers team, bad defensively. The only reason they were above water was LeBron James had one of the best defensive seasons of his career.
I think the thing that we forget is that the reason why the Mavs were so good last year in the postseason, when they made the trade for P.J. Washington and Gafford, it was like you have Gafford, you have Washington, who are all. I mean, P.J. Washington, you can put him on the wing.
They're
Gafford
bruisers.
is 6'11", who does the dirty work. You got Lively, who catches the lob. When you take away Jackson Hayes, you take away Luka's playmaking because you take away the lob, and you take away his ability to. Luka is so good with finding players that are in like hidden spots in the court. That's what he's good at in terms of playmaking.
His court vision's
And when you take Jackson Hayes out, basically what you do is you put 4 other guards on the outside, and then you have everyone stand around. And I'm watching him ISO, and then Luka stops. And what makes Luka so good is when he gets stopped, dime. When he gets stopped, he behind his head. When you have people standing around 4 guards just watching, I mean, Rui Hachimura is not a center. You can't put him down low because he's going to get blocked. You can't put Vanderbilt down low. They're going to get blocked. So you take away that lob threat, you put too many people on the perimeter, and you play too much ISO ball, you're going to lose to a team that is defensively minded, even if they shoot 7 of 47. Like, it's just always going to happen. And JJ Redick said this. He said, when you get Luka, you have a trade-off, right? And you take. He said when you sit Jackson Hayes, there's a trade-off, right?
Yeah.
The defense for the offense. Well, guess what? You don't have any defense. Yeah. You can't score, but you can't play any defense on the Wolves. So, I mean, you have Julius Randle going to the rack like he's prime LeBron against LeBron. Like, come on, what are we doing here?
Especially when you were getting nothing from Dorian Finney-Smith. Like, he was not good yesterday.
And they put Maxi Kleber, who's missed 43 games, and it's his Laker debut. He's the first player off the bench.
I was so
He's
confused
the first.
Maxi Kleber was in the game.
Not Jared Vanderbilt.
Hey, that's my pro comp.
Not Jared Vanderbilt. Not Jackson Hayes, the guys who have been there for the rotation.
The guys who have won playoff series.
The guy who's played his first game as a Laker, and you're bringing him off the bench first to go up against Rudy Gobert. You think Maxi Kleber is going to stop Rudy Gobert down low in size?
It's ridiculous.
Come on, man.
It was ridiculous.
That's bad substitution.
No, it's terrible.
So, ultimately it falls on JJ Redick and the Lakers.
Because he was just too smug. He thought what he was going to do was going to win it. And you just can't be that smug. You can't be that arrogant.
No.
I get that, like, you have guys on the bench. You had Nate McMillan, and you have all these other guys who have coaching experience. You don't, like, these are things that you don't do. The greatest coaches of all time have not done this. Phil Jackson, Greg Popovich. They're not doing these things for a reason.
Yep.
Why do you think they've won championships? Because they know the recipe. Not because they're doing something out of the norm, because they know what they're doing. And so if you don't know what you're doing, if you're a first-time head coach, we saw that from Steve Nash. You think that you're a first-time head coach. I'm sorry to get on your net.
It's fine.
But you're a first-time head coach, and you think it's going to be sweet. It's not sweet. You got all these players that you have to manage, and you think that just because you play the game, you know how to do it. It's coaching and playing are 2 different things.
Yeah, no, I think you put it well bringing up the Nets example, too, because the Nets with Steve Nash, they coached themselves.
Yeah.
And everybody knew that. And the Lakers, no matter what you think of JJ Redick, the players are always going to have that control. Because if LeBron wants in, he's going to get in. If Luka, same thing. The Nets in 2021, when they were an inch away from winning the championship, I fully believe if Kevin Durant wore a smaller shoe, they blow through everybody else and the Nets are champions, but we could have that argument another time. They're playing Blake Griffin at the 5, and they got dominated inside by Giannis. Nick Claxton was on the bench. I know he's a rookie, but look at him now. And you need size there. And it's the same thing here against the Lakers are a more talented team than the Wolves. I don't care that the Lakers are not talented inside. LeBron and Luka, no matter, I get it, the Wolves have Ant. Besides that, the Lakers are more talented.
Yeah.
You have to compensate for those advantages. I mean, people have been saying the Wolves' size was going to be the biggest difficulty. That's JJ Redick. And that's the players. They should know that. And I don't know what Jackson Hayes said. The guy has to be in that fucking game. Like, the guy, he has to be, especially against the reigning defensive player of the year. Like, a guy who, look, we could shit on Rudy Gobert all we want. He's good at basketball.
Yeah, no, he is.
So it's just like, yeah, it just doesn't make sense. And
The interesting thing that you said a while back was you said the hunger, and you said it's subjective and you don't want to say it.
Yeah.
Hunger may not be the right word,
Right.
but the Wolves just have that dog in them. Like if you look at Ant wants to take the mantle. McDaniels, he wants to smoke, he wants to defend anybody. Randall's going through any and everybody if he really wants to. Gobert, if he finds the confidence, he's prime Shaq. You got these guys. Dante DiVincenzo has got that heart in him.
Yeah.
You look at the Lakers roster, they don't have the heart.
Yep.
I mean, Luka is really good at basketball, but when he's not on, when he's not hitting shots, he's not that guy as opposed to, when he is. LeBron James, he's 40 years old. He doesn't have he's not the same 30-year-old.
I'm not gonna lie. LeBron didn't give a shit.
No, LeBron had LeBron had one of the
didn't
worst series.
He
and that's-
didn't, because he knows that it doesn't matter. Like it's just at this point he's LeBron. He knows.
He didn't
it's
care.
good.
He didn't care at all. You seen the way he was playing in what was it, Game 3?
He had 38 that game.
He had 38 and he got no help from anybody else.
Game 3, he was just out there literally just hitting step back threes, shooting from the logo. Like he didn't care. And then I think it was after Game 1. I think Game 1 or Game 2, one of those. I think it was Game 3 actually. He was after the game they had just lost, and he was just smiling, laughing, joking with Ant. When the fuck have you ever seen LeBron James smiling and laughing after losing a playoff game? Never.
Because he's done. He's
never.
He knows.
I've never seen LeBron James in my lifetime smiling and laughing with the other team and another team's player after losing a playoff game.
It's crazy.
So LeBron didn't care.
No,
LeBron
he
didn't care. And I mean, like
the rest of them didn't care either.
To be honest though, it's like you're 40 years old. I don't know if I would care either at that point, but like I don't know. I think he genuinely feels like he doesn't have to do anything else for his legacy, so it's like, why?
I think he sees.
He just literally loves playing basketball. That's why he's still playing.
Y'all have seen the clip video of him.
Play with his son, of course.
Y'all have seen the clip video of him a couple years ago saying, I'll retire when somebody comes and dethrones me.
Yeah.
I think he realized in this series, Ant's that guy.
Oh no,
and he realized
Ant's
like
that guy for sure. We should have seen that. We should have seen that last year.
I think this is the moment
Ant's
where he was
guy.
like, this is the moment that it's being passed on to the next great player.
Yeah.
At 23 years old, Anthony Edwards has swept Kevin Durant. He has went into Denver and defeated the reigning MVP Nikola Jokic, the reigning champs after being down 20 in their building.
Yep.
And then he beats the best player of this generation.
Yeah. And now
he's 23.
And he's going to get Steph next round.
And he's going to get Steph
and
next round.
And he said that's who he wants. He wants to take Steph.
Yeah. And Stephen A.
The legend killer. That's what he is. He's the legend slayer.
He's going to have a couple rings.
He's the legend slayer. And if he wins a ring this year, we're going to have some real talks about top 3 player in the league.
Oh, totally. Stephen A. said today it's not Anthony Edwards' league until he wins the West. I don't know. Because I still think this Wolves team, if they get by the Warriors, because I'm assuming it's going to be the Warriors.
Yeah.
I don't know if they beat the Thunder. Ant's a top 5 player in basketball. And I think the Wolves are going to address another superstar. Like, I think KD might go there. I think Kevin Durant to the Wolves is a very big possibility. The problem is they don't have picks because they gave it all for Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
It's possible. I mean, but the guy is the freaking truth.
Yeah.
And you see it over and over again. And he's taking these guys who we grew up on. He is belt to assing them.
Oh, it's crazy.
He is belt to assing them.
It's
And
insane.
Sweeping KD and gentlemen sweeping Braun. And if he, Game 7, prime Jokic taken in his house.
I mean, if he beats the Warriors next series, if
he
the Wolves
beats
beat the
Steph.
Warriors and he beats Steph, he beat the 4 best players of our generation, arguably.
He's the legend slayer.
Like, that is insane. That's
bro.
insane.
And he's 20. He's not even in his prime yet.
Yeah.
23, you're not even in your prime.
Yeah, 23. He's young.
He's not even in his prime yet. And he's taking people's.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And yesterday was his worst game of the series, too. He was 0 for 11 from 3.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't matter.
That's what's
doesn't
crazy
matter.
about him is he can have a terrible game offensively, and we saw this in Denver, and just lock up defensively and be an absolute plus on the court.
Yeah.
It's like that's the thing that a lot of superstars are missing is like if I'm not hitting my shots and I have maybe 20 points and I need to have 40, I'm getting down and I'm playing defense. Like I'm you know what I mean? I'm smacking the ground and I'm getting there. So
Yeah.
that's why I really like him.
All right, so moving on. Giannis getting traded? Question mark.
Absolutely.
Can I go first because I'm a
Question mark.
Giannis guy?
Go.
Yeah.
So, Giannis is such a good guy, and it's like I know he doesn't want to leave from the Bucks, but he has to. He has to. They don't own a single pick for the next 6 years. Dame
is going to be out all of next year.
He's 35. He's going to be out all of next year. When he comes back, he's going to be like 2 years older. The list of players who recover from Achilles injuries is so slim. They're only like the best of the best athletes, best superstars of all time. You got to ask for a trade. Now, here's the thing. Because I feel bad for Milwaukee because they did everything they were supposed to. Giannis said, I want a star, so they went and got a star. Giannis said, I want this, so they went and got, the only thing I hold against the Milwaukee Bucks is firing Adrian Griffin, which just didn't make any sense.
Yeah,
but
no point to do that.
Giannis has to ask for a trade because think about it, he's 30 years old right now. You play the next 6 years in Milwaukee, you waste the back end of your whole career doing nothing. You have to ask for a way out. Now the question is, where does he go? Because there's so many different options that people have been throwing out.
Brooklyn.
People have said Brooklyn. I don't know if they're there yet in terms of like the rest of the team.
They're definitely not, but they have a freak ton of picks.
He's going to force his way to where he wants to.
Oh, totally. I could see OKC.
People
OKC
said Miami. People have said Miami.
Miami.
I don't like Miami. People said Warriors, which I don't hate, but I don't know if I want to see Steph get 2 more rings or something like that. But it's the thing where like it's like Lou Alcindor. Giannis has given more years than Kareem did. He won them a championship. That's what you're supposed to do in the small market. You get drafted, you're supposed to win a championship, and then if you're all done, it's time.
He doesn't know the Bucks anything. He gave the Bucks their first championship in franchise history, right? He dropped 50 in Game 6, and they won 4 straight games in that finals. And it was a great run, obviously. He doesn't know the Bucks anything. He won them their ring. He's 30. Now that Damian Lillard is gone for pretty much the entirety of next season, and even with Damian Lillard, they're not a championship contender. And they're not really close, especially with the way teams are ascending in the East. Going into next season, even no matter what the Bucks do, unless it's like a very major move like a Kevin Durant or they somehow trade up for the number 1 pick, something like that, the Knicks are better, the Celtics are better, the Cavs are better, the Pistons are better than the Bucks right now. I think that there's other teams that are going to be up there. The Sixers might be, if they're healthy. And so if you're Giannis and you're in your prime, the end of your prime, yeah, go ask for a trade. Because, like, they're not going to think of you as a trader. Bucks fans aren't going to boo you. They understand, and I think the front office understands this too, that it might be time. They started tearing off the Band-Aid this year by trading Chris Middleton, absolute legend there, but he's past his prime. And Giannis, you're gonna cash on a guy that's that's not happy because, like, sure, he's happy in Milwaukee. I fully believe that. Like, he doesn't have a problem with it, but he's a top 3 player in the league. He wants to win.
Before you say, can I just say one more thing? Yeah. This situation to me is like having a girlfriend for like a year and then realizing that she doesn't, like, she's a good person and that you like her, but that she's holding you back from exceeding. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's holding you back from being your true potential self and doing more in life. That's what it's like. Because he has to go. He has to ask for a trade. The man has to ask out because he's not winning another championship with the Bucks. He's not doing anything more. The man's just going to stack all-stars and all-pros, right? Maybe another MVP, but that's what it's like.
Yeah, he was putting up magic numbers in the second half of the season, too. I'd honestly, if I'm the Bucks front office, I don't even ask him. Like, I genuinely search for trade. Like, they're obviously going to ask him because the NBA, out of the 4 leagues, is the most player-driven league. Search for trades now and find a place where Giannis is healthy and cash on it because the Bucks are not in a good position right now. They're just not. Brook Lopez, old. Kyle Kuzma, ass. Like, respectfully.
No, it's true.
So, yeah,
he is ass.
Just bank on that.
I think that you guys are crazy as hell if you think Giannis is going to ask for a trade. And
I don't think he'll do it publicly.
And let me tell you why. So, my first thinking here, my first thought, the position that the Milwaukee Bucks are in right now, this is because of Giannis. Giannis wanted Adrian Griffin out. Giannis wanted Doc Rivers there. Giannis wanted Damian Lillard there. He wanted them to go get another star, so they went and got Dame. Mm-hmm. Like, this is Giannis's doing right now.
Oh,
this is all of his fault. Mm-hmm. So that's my first order of business: is Giannis needs to sit down and realize this is him.
That's why he should get out.
He did this to himself. Yep. This is why they are in the position that they are in right now. My second order of business that I want to talk about is I think that we are overreacting with the Milwaukee Bucks. I do. I think we are overreacting a little bit with the Milwaukee Bucks. Let's not act like they just won a championship a couple years ago, because they did, Giannis has his ring. He has his chip. Now, I could see if Giannis hadn't won a ring yet, if they would have lost to Phoenix in that series and he wouldn't have had a ring yet, okay, then yes. I think Giannis possibly does. It's a good chance he asks for a trade.
Yeah.
Giannis has his ring. Giannis is okay. Giannis is fine. Okay? He's fine.
No, he ain't.
Yes, he is. He's fine.
He's
Who's
Why-
coming to rescue him? Who's coming to help? Name one person.
So you're telling me right now, if you're thinking about let's throw out a superstar right now, like I don't know, Jalen Green or some shit or whoever.
Jalen Green.
Throw out a
Shitty
star.
series, by the way.
He had a shitty series. but
Young or old? Like,
Jalen Green can be a very good player in this league.
he's a
though.
superstar.
He's gonna be a very good player. Or let's think about this. Let's think Jalen Brown starts to say, "Oh, I'm not liking where I'm at right now here in Boston." Mm-hmm. You're telling me that you don't want to go and play with Giannis Antetokounmpo if there's nobody else there?
Yeah, but they don't have picks.
What's his last name?
Antetokounmpo.
No, that's crazy.
Antetokounmpo.
Clip that. Antetokounmpo. No, I
His
understand.
last name fucks me up, bro.
They don't have picks though. So Giannis, he's just sitting there, and I actually
can't breathe.
No, so my thing is, okay, I'm not gonna lie, Dame just tore his Achilles tendon.
Yeah.
Get him out of there. Like
Who's gonna trade for him?
let's
name
be for
one
real.
person who's gonna
no one's gonna trade for Dame.
What?
Like
name one team.
Damian Lillard.
Name one player. One team.
You're telling me that a desperate team is not gonna trade for Damian
a desperate team
Lillard?
just traded for him. And what happened? He got hurt, and then he got hurt again, and he's 37 when he comes back.
You're telling me that a desperate team is not gonna trade for
What team
Damian
is trading
Lillard?
for a 36, 37-year-old man coming back from an Achilles
I'll
injury?
tell you who does it. The Washington fucking Wizards does it.
I don't know.
I'll tell you that.
Not the Washington
Dude,
Wizards.
they have a foundation.
Oh no. They have a foundation? The Washington
absolutely-
Wizards have a foundation.
They absolutely do.
Right now.
Yeah.
And so you build it with Dame Lillard
They
off an
absolutely do.
Achilles injury.
No, they're not gonna build, but they're desperate. They're desperate.
They're desperate. They're desperate. Okay.
What do you think Damian Lillard
does
gets
he-
in return? What's a return for Damian Lillard? Like,
How
here's
does he
the Bucks.
help them?
Picks.
How many?
does he help them?
Picks.
Dame's not more than one pick coming off an Achilles injury right
At
now,
36.
especially because he's sitting out the entirety of next season. This isn't like Kevin Durant when he signed with the Nets and missed the entire season because of the Achilles injury.
He's gonna be 37
Damian
when he
Lillard
comes
is
back.
under team control.
He's a small guard coming back from an Achilles injury at 37.
I'm not getting down with this. I think you guys are overreacting right now. There's no
Okay,
way.
okay,
I think
okay.
we're
You're telling
talking
me
too
that
much-
a desperate team is not going to trade for Damian fucking Lillard. Let's be for real right now.
Not
Let's be for
now.
real.
Not now. The guy's Achilles is still like raw chicken on the bone. Like,
Let me ask you this: You trade for Dame, Giannis. Okay, they need picks. Giannis Antetokounmpo is 30. Next year, let's call it a wrap because they don't have Dame.
Yeah.
He's gonna be 32. You're gonna expect a new guy to come in at 32, be the number 2 for Giannis, and help win a championship when he's a rookie or even a first year.
yeah.
I mean, no, that's not my thing though. It's like I'm saying
And Dame is not getting any picks. I don't know one team that would trade more than 1 or 2.
okay, but at the end of the day, it's not working out for Dame. So let him walk or do something with him because it's not working out.
So what? So okay.
And that is Giannis's doing. And this is my point.
no,
and
that-
this is Giannis's doing.
No, I'm not. I'm not arguing with that point. It is Giannis is doing. But if I'm Giannis, I'm like, man, I'm 30 years old. We don't own picks for the next 6 years. We're gonna have to trade some players for some picks. First of all, who wants Kyle Kuzma after the shitty series he had? Nobody. Who wants Dame when he's 37 off Achilles injury? Nobody. Who wants? Their number 2 was Kevin Porter Jr. That's their number 2 in the series was Kevin Porter Jr. It wasn't Dame because he was hurt and he was there and he wasn't. It wasn't Kyle Kuzma who's getting all this money for what? Kyle Kuzma is one of the problems. He has a humongous contract and he's not good. No team's gonna want to trade for him.
LeBron's the reason that he is in the league. Kyle Kuzma. Anyway, continue.
I just got to say this. If you're a superstar, I understand that you sandbag the whole franchise, but I'm 30 years old. I don't know how many more years I get to play, right? Most players play maybe 5, 6, 7 if they're lucky. Because Giannis is based on athleticism. Let's say his athleticism wanes down the way of his career, and he only makes it to 37. Let's say he has 7 more years of his career left. 6 of those are going to be trying to get picks that people don't want to trade for. They have terrible players that no one wants. They don't have any picks. You got a superstar who wants to win, and he's got sent home 3 times in the last 3 years. I would want out. Now I understand it's my fault. Like I set fire to the house, but I still want to walk out of it.
No, I just don't think I don't see Giannis doing that.
He won't do it publicly.
And then
Absolutely
and then
not.
it's also, when have we ever seen I know this is like montage bullshit, whatever. But when have we ever seen an international superstar be unloyal to their international superstars? Historically, have been very loyal to their franchises. Very
international,
loyal.
yeah.
Very loyal. International.
Yeah, international.
Very true, but once you get to okay, have you seen Giannis from when he arrived here to now? He's kind of a changed man. He's kind of adopted some of the American ways in some sense, and I get that he has that wherewithal to say, well, man, the American players are going where they want to go, even after they sandbag their players. Because Giannis is not a stupid. He's not an idiot. I think he's like, well, if James Harden forces his way out, if KD can force his way out, if all these players can force their way out, why can't I? And why would I waste my next 6 years losing in the first or second round? For what? For what? And I understand he sandbagged the organization. I understand.
But I just feel like that argument is valid if he didn't win a championship a couple years ago.
But that's my point. That's not the same team. Drew Holiday's not there.
Yeah.
Chris Middleton's not there. None of the players, none of the coaches, none of the team is still. It's only Giannis that's still there. He won them a championship. He got the Defensive Player of the Year. He got the 2 MVPs. He's the greatest buck of all time. He can leave the organization and be fine.
He's not only the greatest buck of all time, he's the greatest Milwaukee athlete of all time.
Yeah, he literally, that franchise is Giannis's. If he wants to leave, because he wants to maximize his years, he should be able to.
I think him winning a championship gives him more leverage to leave.
That's what I'm saying.
He doesn't owe the Bucks anything.
Okay, but my thing is I'm not saying that, okay, Giannis doesn't have the capacity to leave. Giannis absolutely has the capacity to leave. I'm saying Giannis is not going to leave Milwaukee. He's not going to do it. He's not. I'm just saying he's not doing it. He's not leaving Milwaukee.
So at what point, let's say he doesn't, at what point do the Milwaukee Bucks say, man, our superstar is really making this franchise bad? Maybe we do trade him for picks and start over?
Probably when he's like 35.
Yeah, I guess, but
I just hope he doesn't waste half of his career doing that, because he's already wasted the last 3 years.
What is he? What are we wasting? He's an NBA champion.
Yes, but don't you expect Giannis to win at least 2 rings?
Yeah,
maybe
and also,
3?
dude, they haven't only been getting beat in the playoffs; they've been getting dogged recently.
He's a top 30 NBA player of all time, 25 maybe if you want to make that argument, just based on his accomplishments and what he's done. He's already one of the greatest players of all time. Why would I want to waste 5 years on a franchise that has already let me? It's not like he's been playing bad. It's one thing if Giannis has averaging 22, 7, and 7. The man averaged 30, 20, and 10 in the series, and nobody came to help him. Dame was hurt with the blood clots, and he came back and he had the Achilles. Kyle Kuzma is dog shit. Kevin Porter Jr. is the only person balling, and you get the occasional buckets from Brook Lopez. You don't have anything next year.
So get rid of him.
Okay, where do you start? First of all, you're not getting rid of Dame because he's injured, all right? Kevin Porter Jr. is your number 2, so I guess you got to keep him. You don't have a center after Brook Lopez, so where do you go from there? I mean, you can try and trade and get a center, but that's going to be difficult because you don't have any picks, so you have to trade players. 3, your developmental players haven't been developed because Giannis wants guys right now, so you trade for our Kyle Kuzma, who's terrible. It's Giannis's fault that he's in this position, but it's also his say to say, I am one of the greatest players of all time. This is not working out. I want out. It's not the end of the world to say that. And I think because he won the championship, he can say, I'm one of the greatest players. I'm the greatest Buck to ever play here. I'm better than Lou Alcindor was. I gave you more time. I did everything I was supposed to do. Maybe I sandbagged the organization. Guess what? I got to go win somewhere else. And sometimes a change of venue is just better for both. Sometimes what if the Bucks get a first round pick and it's like top 5 and they get a generational player? Then they can reset and find something.
If you trade Giannis
more.
Right now, he's at least 5 first-round picks.
That's 5.
And I think that. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I was going to say you can get Cooper Flag for Giannis.
Yeah, can I? Let me do my pitch right now. 1, the Bucks have lost in the first round the past 3 seasons. They're going backwards, and they're going to keep going backwards. The favorite for the Bucks is the Brooklyn Nets, my Brooklyn Nets, and I don't think it's necessarily close. Honestly, they were reported to be a favorite for Giannis way back in October. Once these rumors started spewing. And look, I sort of see both sides of the Giannis thing. I think he's way too loyal to go out of his way to request a trade, but I think he might do it privately. He definitely won't do it public. He's not a diva. He never is, and I actually think he handles the media so well. The Nets have like 17 first-round picks. They have 4 in the first round this year. One of them is going to be an NBA lottery pick in the top 5 probably. So if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, you trade Giannis Antetokounmpo to the Nets. where he gets to start over and do what a lot of American superstars do, create their own team, because the Nets are so raw right now. And if you're Giannis, you're probably running next year with the Nets with D'Angelo Russell. You're going with Cam Johnson, Cam Thomas. That is not a championship contender, but you still have the picks to build. You have the money to build, and it's a player-friendly market. And you're in New York, but you're not really in New York. It's the same logic that got Kevin Durant there. It's the same logic that got Kyrie Irving there. Giannis will have so much leverage there. And there is just so much more of a trajectory if he goes to a team like Brooklyn because of all the flexibility they have, that I think that Giannis is going to leave. And I think they should do Giannis right by leaving. So come to Brooklyn. Come to Brooklyn.
I'll tell you right now, if I'm Giannis Antetokounmpo, there is no way in hell that I am leaving the Milwaukee Bucks or the Brooklyn Nets.
What about
Absolutely.
the Nets? Yes.
No. What about
Absolutely not.
What about the Bucks makes them a better situation right now than the Brooklyn Nets? Right now.
Hey, y'all can have that argument.
Right now, what makes the Milwaukee Bucks a better situation than the Brooklyn Nets outside of Giannis Antetokounmpo?
If Giannis goes to the Nets, he does the same thing in Brooklyn.
But
That's the same thing. Like, he's 31. You think he want to play with hella young players?
No, but the Nets have so many picks. They have so many young players. Cam Thomas, potential. Cam Johnson, potential, under contract. They could trade those guys and get another superstar. The Nets weren't good in 2019. They were fun. Remember D'Angelo Russell, Theo Pinson, Joe Harris? Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving wanted to come there. What did the Nets do? They traded him. Or they traded for Kyrie. They got KD. And they made themselves a championship contender. I understand they didn't win, but they were a championship contender. Why wouldn't Joe Tsai want to do that again? Especially if Giannis wants to come there, go trade for another superstar because you have the leverage to. Because the Nets have put themselves in a really good position to. They have their first-round pick this year along with 3 others. The Nets have a much higher ceiling than the Bucks right now. Especially because the Bucks' second-best player, who you're paying $40 million for, has no Achilles. Giannis doesn't have a second option right now. And he has second options anywhere else. I could see Giannis going to Houston if they lose to the Warriors. Like,
that's an interesting one.
Houston, Golden State. Like, I just think he's stuck right now. He's so stuck.
Houston and Golden State are probably his best bet.
Yeah.
All right, we should move on.
I just don't think Giannis is doing it. At the end of the day.
That's a very valid that he might.
I don't think he's doing it.
All right, let's move on. We don't have enough time.
Cool.
Thunder, Cavs, and Celtics dominate their series, also winning. Celtics, gentlemen sweep. Cavs and Thunder, clean sweep. What do we think about these teams? Who out of all 3 of these teams, who do you like the most?
Thunder.
The Thunder 100%.
Yeah.
And also, I just don't think, like, it's obviously not a surprise that they did what they did.
Yeah.
We all knew that was going to happen. But yeah, 100% OKC. 100%.
Yeah. I don't think it's a surprise that none of these series went beyond 5 games. Like, the Celtics literally lost 1 game because Jason Tatum didn't play.
Yeah, that was a gimme.
The Thunder lost 12 games all season. They had the highest win differential in NBA history.
Yeah.
They don't lose at home. I don't think there's any team, unless Anthony Edwards averages 40, can go in there when the Thunder have home court and beat them. They're so good. And, yeah.
For the sake of the argument, I'm going to say Celtics. I know the Thunder are a better team objectively just based on this year. The MVP is Shea. I'm going to have to go Celtics. I mean, Jason Tatum could sit out and they could still win playoff games. Like, they can win series without Jason Tatum. May not be able to win the finals without Jason Tatum, but they can win like 2 series. I mean, Derek White can drop 40. We've seen it. Pritchard can drop 40. Anybody on that team could drop 40. I mean, Sam Hauser could have 30 points. So it's like, it's one of those things where, like, man, anyone on the Celtics can step up and be the guy that day, and they can win it. I think that's what hurts his MVP case every year is that everyone on his team can ball out.
100%.
All 5 of those guys are all pros or all-stars.
Yeah. Luke Cornett gets playing time.
Yeah.
So
I honestly...
Derek White's out there scoring 30, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have this conversation if and when it comes, because I think it will come. I think the Cavs are going to beat the Celtics. I don't... Like, the Cavs destroyed the Heat. I think everybody saw that coming.
Yeah.
I think the Cavs with home court and the way they're playing and just this team that's been waiting to break through for so long, that's going to be a dogfight. And I think the Cavs totally can beat them. Again, we could have that conversation when it comes. Giving them love, I mean, was there one close game in that series, really? No?
No.
Was there one
well,
set?
The Cavs?
Game
there was
2?
one
Talking
game
about the
two,
Cavs?
I
The
think.
Cavs, game 2?
Yeah,
was
because
game
that was
two.
the killer when the Heat. It was like, oh, okay, we can steal one,
Yeah.
and then it was
Game
like they
three,
got kicked, and then it was like, oh, wait a minute, we can't hang with them.
Yeah, no.
And the last game
Exactly.
was the way. The thing about the Cavs also is that they're so like not that anybody can score, but everyone contributes. Like Donovan Mitchell only had to average 23 this series.
Yeah.
and he could average 30.
Yeah.
And so when it comes time for the Cavs and the Celtics to meet, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I'm not gonna say Cavs absolutely can beat Boston.
Mm-hmm.
I've been telling people that it's 50-50. That series is gonna be 50-50.
you could go back to our podcast episode in like January when we talked about this, right?
And I think I mentioned it earlier that I don't think I said Cavs would beat Boston, but I said the Cavs absolutely can beat Boston, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do. I'm still gonna go Boston right now because I still want to see what Cleveland does against Indiana and how that series goes and how well they play.
It's gonna be a good series.
I also want to see what Boston does against the Knicks or Pistons.
Yeah,
Because if they sweep them,
yeah.
then it's going to change.
I think it's gonna be a gentleman's sweep with whoever. They're gonna be 2 games.
I think it's game 6.
Yeah, I was about to say 2 games max. The loser's gonna win 2 games max.
Yeah,
maximum.
I think it's game
Yeah.
6.
No, but I get what you're saying.
But
yeah.
I feel like Cleveland will beat them if Donovan and Garland do what they do every night.
Yeah.
If one of them has one off night, it's going south.
I agree
I
with
think.
that.
But if they do what they do every night, then I think because I mean like Mobley's gonna get his, and he's 100%. He's elite on defense. He's gonna be. Jared Allen is another elite defender on defense.
I miss him.
It's nasty having those twin towers down there.
Yeah.
Because they're both centers, but Mobley's just more athletic. He's a stretch 4. But yeah, I just feel like Cleveland can beat them, but we'll see what they do in round 2.
I think too, and then we can move on because again, we're going to have this conversation down the road, and I think we all know that. Like as much as I'll root for the Knicks or you'll root for the Pistons, Boston's probably going to beat them, and Cleveland's going to beat Indiana. Wherever Boston has an elite star, and the reason why they've been considered one of the best teams in the NBA for the past 3 years, why they have a ring, the Cavs have a comparable, right? Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland might be better than Jaylen Brown offensively. It's close. Like inside,
It's a toss-up.
Inside, advantage Cleveland. Advantage Cleveland. Kristaps Porzingis had a good series
100%.
against the Magic, but you got the Twin Towers there.
Yeah.
And the one difference, the X factor in that series is Drew Holiday to me, because if Drew Holiday can clamp up Garland,
Oh yeah.
and we'll get to that, but wherever the Celtics have something that you go, that's elite, that's why they won the championship, the Cavs have a comparable. And I also think the Cavs have a better coach this year.
Yeah, it's gonna.
close.
That series is gonna be. That series is gonna go to 7. I think.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a battle.
I fully agree with
It's
that.
gonna be a battle.
And that's the only reason I take the Thunder over either of them. Or not the only reason. I think there's a lot, but the Thunder might have a cakewalk. I'm not saying they do. I think there's a team that could give them difficulties. I don't know if there's a team that takes the Thunder to 7 in the West. I don't know.
In the West, teams in the West.
Yeah, I think. I
Oh
don't
no,
know.
there's not a team in the West that can take them
Like
to 7. I don't
maybe
think.
Steph and Jimmy in the conference finals, just because they're Steph and Jimmy. If we wanted to use the same logic that
I'd
we were
say,
using for LeBron and Luka,
I'd say either Golden State or Minnesota.
right? It's possible.
I think it's Minnesota.
I'm just more
I'd say
confident.
Golden
I'm just
State or
more
Minnesota.
confident in the Thunder in those types of situations.
No, I am too. 100%.
So-
Thunder's gonna be there.
the thing I like
Thunder
about
is gonna be in the finals.
the thing I like
That's-
about Minnesota against them though is Minnesota has been in the most close games in the NBA, so they
Yeah.
know what it takes to win coming down the
And
stretch.
both Minnesota and Golden State have something that the Thunder don't have right now, and that's conference finals experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
And so
That's the only thing. That's the only reason why people have been down on the Thunder is the age.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
literally
Experience.
only the age, because everywhere else the Thunder are one of the best teams to ever step on a basketball court
Facts.
together. And then Warriors Rockets. Let's get our predictions out for that, because we're not going to record before that series over. Game 6 is tomorrow. We're recording on Thursday pod, so
Yeah.
we'll see when it's posted. Do the Dubs close it out on home court?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think even if they don't close it out on home
They do.
court, I think they go back to Houston and winning.
The last game was like, okay,
young.
we're gonna mess around here and just see if we can kind of do it, and then they slapped them in the face, and then
slapped
it's
him.
like, I think they're gonna lock in for the home crowd. And
Yeah, and I'm not
Houston's
gonna.
young.
I'm not going to give Steve Kerr too much crap about him sitting Steph and Jimmy when it was 15. I think you're going back home. You're essentially giving them a win. You're resting your 2 best players, and now they have a chance to close it out.
Yeah.
And also, Steph and Jimmy in Game 7 against a Rockets team that has an average age of 23.
Yeah. And doesn't have one guy that you can rely on in the
No,
series
especially
to score.
because Jalen
Yeah.
Green in 4 out of the 5 games has had under double digits. Actually, I don't know about last night, but he hasn't been good. That's the
No,
bottom
he
line,
hasn't
and
been.
he's their best offensive player.
He hasn't. Been
Yeah.
good. He has not been good at all.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, but hey, it's been a fire first round. It has.
Great.
I
It
mean,
has.
obviously our glorious king is lost, and Pod, we're gonna get the GOAT debate when Benedict Lunga comes on, and it'll be a 2v2.
Skip Lunga?
Skip Lunga,
Lunga
Benedict
Bayless?
Lunga, whatever
Bayless?
we
Lunga
want to call
Bayless,
it.
Skip Lunga?
I'll say it on the pod. I wish you guys luck tonight, even though I'm not on your side.
appreciate you.
I'm a Nets fan, but grew up in a New York town. Going to be rooting for the Knicks. I love you, Pops. I do. Yeah, I think the Knicks win, but it's house money. You know how it goes. Stay tuned, Pod. Blake and Toussaint and a special guest are going to be doing a draft reaction soon, right?
Yes, we are. So obviously, stay tuned. Of course, as always, run up socials.
I'm going back to the promised land. That's why I'm not going to be here. New York, not Israel.
You're going back to Cleveland?
Nah.
Cleveland.
This is 4 days.
Go to Cleveland. But yeah, run up socials always. Instagram, TikTok. Check out our Bears video on our.
It's incredible. You don't want to miss that.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
That should be up on YouTube soon and TikTok as well. We'll have more clips, obviously, from this episode, past episodes up soon. And comment your biggest takeaway from round 1. Comment your biggest takeaway from round 1. And as always, stay fly.
Wait. Don't press the button. One more time.
We gotta close it out.
It's a good close.
Until next year, GOAT. Until next year, GOAT.
Wait.
It's my goat.
Roll credits.
Roll the credits, dog.
All right, we're good.
Peace.
Adios.
Woo.